everyone, and thank you for coming to our AGM, including anyone that may be watching online. We are starting slightly late, and I think we're going until 1 when the next lot of talks kick off. 10 past, excellent, thank you. So the format of this is we've all got a couple of slides related to our different areas, so I'm not going to remember all the different subcommittees now, but there'll be my slide for chair, which is not terribly in-depth. There'll be one for treasurer, membership, we might have one for website and programme. So we'll just run through some of the sort of updates about the functioning of the MCG. And then I don't think we're not going to do any elections to the AGM today, but as Russ mentioned, we are recruiting because we're unfortunately losing 2 members. So Graham, who served on the committee for, I think, 6 years, so his term's come to the end, very sad. And also Sarah Middle, who's been absolutely brilliant and has held secretary positions as well. So those are 2 roles covering sort of website project management and programme that we're looking to fill as of next year. But we won't recruit at the AGM itself, so we'll publicise this and you can write a short application and then we will go through those in the new year. We didn't quite get our act together for this year for the AGM. I think that's all the kind of preamble I'll do, so maybe we'll just go into the slides themselves. Oh, I've got the slides. Agenda, I think that's hopefully pretty much what I said. That's not coming up on here, so cool. My report. Oh. Accounts? Okay, we don't seem to have all the slides here. Okay, yeah. Good stuff. Okay, so we've done some good things this year. We have recruited 5 new members. Going to try and remember everyone now. Matt's on comms, and has also been helping out with the slides and all sorts of other things. Sarah and Pete, who've taken on the role of treasurer, and Sia and Amelia, who've been helping out with corporate membership. And so these brilliant people have only been in post since about mid-September, but have really enabled us to sort of put this conference on, and I sort of dread to think how much work it would have been without all of them. So yeah, really thank you to those 5 for pulling out all the stops at the last minute. This is our first sell-out conference, which I'm pretty pleased about, and I think that's partly a testament to the venue and the programme and the location and the affordability, so that comes back to the corporate members as well and the sponsors. We've got 3 sponsors this year, and we've already had interest for next year, so all of that is feeling very encouraging. We this year put out a survey to attendees of the conference, members, as in people on the discussion list, and I'm not sure we actually got out the corporate member survey, but we have written one and got some more information about who demographically is on the list and what they might like from us. So that was the first bit of kind of our own bit of audience research. We all sort of work in audience research, but as with lots of volunteer things, it's often difficult to make time for cobbler shoes analogy for doing it in your own organisation. So that was really interesting, and I think possibly Alex got some slides on the membership side of things later in this deck, speaking to that. But it'd be nice to rerun that this year and get some more data on this conference as well. Next year, from my point of view, it would be great to focus on bedding in our new committee, who have been brilliant, but are still sort of a couple of months into the volunteer roles, really, recruiting for these 2 new posts. I think consolidating our working groups a little bit more, understanding what individual committee members want out of us. So we've got some of that from last year's survey data, but that ideally won't just be a sort of single data point that we capture, but we'll sort of ongoing be trying to find out what people would like us to do, fulfilling the role that we do of sort of continuing professional development in this sector. There's also some work that I think myself and other members in the committee would like to do around the Constitution. So the Constitution was last updated in 2017, and so there's quite a few things in it that are already out of date or not matching sort of where we're at now. So that's something that we're going to look at next year as well, I think. That's everything I've got on my slide. So next up, we've got accounts. So I think, Pete, you've done this, so I'll just leave the computer here.
Hello everyone, so I'm Pete. I've, as Georgina said, recently taken on the role of co-treasurer alongside Sarah. So I'm just going to go for a quick overview of the group's accounts following the last AGM. This year the conference has made £15,277.64. This will increase following the payment of any outstanding invoices. There's only a few of those, which I'll be chasing up after this. Of that value, this is £2,640 has been attributed to corporate memberships, £3,057.22 for individual tickets, and £480.42 for virtual tickets. We've also got 12 corporate members this year, and sponsorship has accounted for £9,500. This year, the costs of the conference are estimated to be about £12,777. The main costs of this have been made up from catering costs, live streaming, speakers, ICT costs, including software, and venue costs, including reception. Also of note, sponsorship has put us in a good position for 2025. As we've got the two of us working on the treasury team at the moment, this is proving quite beneficial going through all of the accounts. There are still some areas in the accounts left to assess because we've only taken on the accounts quite recently. So following the conference, we'll be going through a lot more of that. So currently, just finishing off really, our combined bank balance really in our bank account and through PayPal is currently standing just shy of 30,000, about 29,649. Taking into the costs for the conference, this will leave us with around 17,000, although some of these have already been paid and some outstanding. So we're looking at around 19,000 following that. And finally, just a brief look at 2023. Essentially, these accounts are still being assessed at the moment, following obviously taking on the role quite recently. But we started 2023 with a balance of 12,096, and we ended with a balance of 20,620. A lot of numbers there, but that was everything from me. I'm not too sure who is up next, but membership. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. I did have some slides, but I don't anymore. So I can promise you that they were fantastic, and they would have been very insightful. I do have them here though, so I'm going to look at these, and you can just pretend that they're up there. There were some graphs later on. Sorry to ruin everybody's... Oh no, that's not me. Okay. Anyway, so as Georgina mentioned, we ran that members survey earlier in the year, and it was fantastic that we had so many respondents to that survey. Really appreciate it. There were some really interesting findings that came out of it, and I was hoping that I could show you the graphs, but instead I'm just going to tell you about them, which, you know, is probably the best way to explain a graph, is just by talking about it. One of the findings is that it's clear that the audience for the discussion list is much more readership than it is posters. So we have a really strong contingent of regular posters, but a much more significant number of the audience tend to read the posts rather than post on it, which, to be fair, is about standard for any sort of discussion list or social media platform. It tends to be more about lurkers than it does about posters. We've also found that our membership is predominantly mid-management or experienced professionals. We do have some sort of early careers, but it seems like we've sort of built a very strong membership that is following us through that career progression. So we're looking at how we can try to make more new starters a bit more aware of the MCG and what we do. We've sort of had discussions around why that might be, and that could be something that we'd look to explore in another membership survey. But it could be around where sort of digital roles and becoming much broader, so it's less sort of specialisms, and people are sort of absorbing digital in other parts of their roles. That could be why new starters are less aware of us, because a lot of what we did, at least earlier, was very much that sort of like specialist support. And there's also a lot of work for us to do around messaging. regarding membership and also what constitutes being a member of the MCG. One of the sort of core findings was that people weren't necessarily sure whether they were even a member, and what constituted being a member, and what meant that they were and weren't. So for 2025, we're going to be looking to really sort of solidify the sort of messaging around what membership is, how it works, and you know what it means. But the thing that really came out of it, the thing that people were really keen on as a sort of, you know, this is why we want to be part of the MCG community, is the access to each other. That idea of a community where we can sort of support and learn from each other, attend these sorts of events, and be part of that discussion list, which is really encouraging because, you know, that's primarily what we're all about. And then just a really quick note on sponsorship, because I'm dual role membership and also sponsorship. Just to say that this year, big thanks to Manifesto Heritage Fund, National Lottery Heritage Fund, and Numico for their sponsorship of the conference this year. It meant that we were able to keep ticket prices much lower, and seeing as this is a sellout year, right? Which is fantastic. So hopefully that's made a big impact for people, particularly at, you know, the current economic climate for a lot of heritage organisations. So again, for 2025, we'll be exploring more opportunities for similar sort of levels of sponsorship so that we can keep ticket prices low and have as many people coming to this as possible. So that's me. And next is events.
Hi, I'm Ed. Oh gosh, that's loud. I am the secretary of the MCG, and I also look after our logistics, which includes organising this event. So this is the meta bit where I tell you how this event is going. But to start with, we did our conference last year at the Royal Academy of Arts. That happened on the 24th of November 2023. The theme for that conference was future-proofing the digital museum, and we had 172 attendees in total. And Alex already talked about some of the feedback that we got from that one. This year, we're in Birmingham. And we're very grateful to Think Tank Birmingham, who've really generously given us a free hire of their venue. Like last year, the conference is held in person and online, and thank you if you're joining us for this on the live stream. I'd also like to thank Titan Films, who are delivering the online part of the event, including our remote speaker for the Q&A session earlier. They've been really great, and I'd really heartily recommend them. We've sold out of in-person tickets, which is fantastic. We've sold 175 tickets. At time of writing last week, there were a further 26 online bookers. I think that's gone up to about 30 now. So we're delighted with that. We don't have a venue locked in yet for next year. We're looking for venues. If you work at an organisation that has an event venue that has a capacity of 150 to 200 people, we'd love to hear from you. So do get in touch with us on our kind of contact inbox. And that's all from me, really. Thank you. Do we have anyone from communications? I don't think we do we? Because Matt's upstairs. And is Graham here for websites? Fab. Over to you, Graham.
Afternoon, everybody. I'm Graham. And I was actually quite early putting my slides in, so it means I do have some slides. The downside is I can't remember what they were. So it was me. So just a general graph on the activity of the website, nothing particularly exciting. It's all, which is good news, so we don't have any, it is predictable. And it's also predictable that a lot of people are coming directly from our communications channels and maybe a bit of searching as well, which is fine, so nothing overly concerning there. Also, because I just like looking at Google Analytics, there's another little bit about where people come from. But what I wanted to mention was, first of all, I want to give a big apology to everybody who has contacted us through the website over the past number of years. We all assumed it was all going to our contact@ mailbox, which I manage, and get back to any inquirers. And we got a message saying, "Oh, I haven't heard back from you." And I thought, "Oh, why not?" So we have this lovely form on the website, it says "Get in touch," and it turns out that we weren't going anywhere for the past 5 years. So apologies. So I've been going through about 500 plus messages over the past few years saying, "Oh my goodness me." So apologies for that, but we are on it now. All inquiries will be answered. And luckily, the replies were stored in WordPress. So hence, I was able to work out who's messaging us. And apologies for the person for the 5th time who said, "Can you please take me off your mailing list?" That was about 2 years ago. So apologies. So looking forward, we're going to be re-looking at all the different sort of points on our website and re-hosting it with Mike Ellis, actually. And it reduces the risk and the points of failure, and so these things don't happen again. I think it's quite tricky with committee members that come and go, and some handovers sometimes. Some things might get missed, and especially with the inquiries that I was talking about earlier, we all assumed that was coming through to the mailbox, the contact at mailbox, because we still get lots and lots of inquiries from there. So there was no red flags other than somebody saying, we haven't had any reply from that, and they emailed to contact us, so we were made aware of that. So we're going to tidy all that up, but I'm going to be disappearing in January, sadly, but I will make sure that all this is handed over with all the information I have, so that make it as smooth as possible. So thank you very much. I think that's it. There we are.
Right, that's it. There is, in fact, no committee update, so we can go straight to, maybe there is, new committee members. I think I talked through this earlier. So, yeah, I think we can skip through that and just go straight to questions. I don't have any other business either, so if there are any questions, yes.
Hello. Let's imagine that I really want to be on the committee.
Yes.
And I'm here now.
Yes.
What do I do?
Well, you can express your interest now, but what we would like is for people to write an application. So we'll promote this on the discussion list in the new year. So, as I said, there's sort of 2 main roles that we're looking to fill. One is the sort of Graham void, so the website and project management functions that Graham takes on. And then the other one is a little bit of help on programme, which is exclusively done by Russ at the moment. If you've got any questions about joining the committee, then please do ask me or anyone on the committee now. But then sometime in January, we will reopen recruitment, publicise it on the discussion list, explain again about these 2 roles that we're looking for, and ask people to write a sort of very short, under 100-word application, and then we'll discuss that amongst the committee. Yes.
Is anyone here now? I'm not that I'm really eager to get people, but if you have interest now, put a hand up. For us to maybe post the team.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that'd be lovely. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Any more questions on joining the committee or for the committee? No? Cool. And we are just about on time, so enjoy part 2. Thank you.
So just say we'll be starting in about 5 minutes, so don't go anywhere.